Guys, how are we? Very fun podcast today. But as you know, I always let you know what the topic for next week is. So this week, we talk about Kiss Alive. Oh, also, we do a little bit of stuff beforehand. Here's Diesel. How you doing, Diesel? We do a little stuff beforehand. We have some grievances we get to. Um, I should say, I get a little critical of the Casey strain, and then when the episode was over, I was like, I'm not that passionate about that anymore. So keep that in mind when I say that. But anyway, we have a lot of grievances. We do a pit police, and then we get heavy into Kiss Alive. It's a good episode. But if you want to get ahead of schedule on next week, we talk about Guar and their album War Party. It's going to be a good time. I'm very excited for next week's episode, but be patient. This week's episode's a really fucking good one too. Enjoy. I'm not even conservative, but they are turning me into one. Well, you're probably Derek. You're very similar to me, so you're probably getting rage baited. You know what? And also, I don't even acknowledge the term rage bait anymore. It's not rage bait. You're getting annoyed by cunty people. Cause like that's the thing I've been saying too, where people will be like, look at this rage bait, and like, oh, just being annoying. You know what I mean? Like, it's the laziest form of trolling. It's just like going up to someone being like, what's up, you fat piece of shit? And you're like, why would you say that? And you're like, you just got rage baited. You just got rage. And you're like, that's not a thing. You're just being like rude. Like, rage baiting is just being rude. And you're like, well, I didn't actually mean it. You're like, what does anything mean at this point? You know what you know what it is? It's because kids grew up on like, oh, I'm gonna go. Well, I'm not even gonna go to the hood. I'm just gonna be around black people, but I'm gonna title the video "In the Hood," and then I'm gonna scuff their sneakers, and then I'm gonna go, "It's a prank." You go, "What's the prank? What's the prank?" You're like, "I scuffed your sneakers." Oh, I'm not actually that guy. I wasn't doing it because I want to fuck your sneaker up. I was doing it to get a react. And you're like, well, you still did it. It's not a prank. And it's the same thing with like quote unquote rage bait. Oh, but I didn't actually like mean it. Well, you said it and it came out of your mouth. And then I had this moment where I thought you were serious and I got my feelings hurt. And because I thought someone who cared about me wasn't going to be that mean and evil. Oh, you got rage bait. No, you're rude. You're a rude person. But yeah, I don't like the term rage bait. I don't like the term. It goes against everything everything I believe in love. I don't know what I was gonna say there. I might have should have made another cup of coffee. But yeah, the you can't be punk or goth or alt and conservative. It's all rage bait. I kept falling. Well, so like that stuff always like annoys me and cracks me up because it's like it's the same thing as like you can't be MAGA and be punk rock or alternative or hardcore. And you're like, yeah, well, like you're the what am I say? It's like you're the equal opposite on the other end of the spectrum. So it's like there we go. Pat George in the mix. So it's like, oh, look at Pat's in here for 2 seconds and wants all the attention on him. I'm going to come in all funny and pretend to sleep. Everyone look at Pat. Everyone look at Pat. Needs all the attention in the world. Weak man. Anyway, the thing I was going to say was, thank God.
I'm Andy.
The thing I was going to say was is like people. Derek was making a comment about people saying like you can't be punk or goth or alt and be conservative, and I'm always like, Yeah, but you know what also isn't punk rock? The equal opposite of that, where people will be like, "You can't be MAGA and be punk," and you're like, "Yeah, but I don't know. It's also not punk rock to,
Tell people,
be a hard
well, yeah,
Democrat." Which it's like all the people who are crying about that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you all voted for like Joe Biden and Kamala, and I'm like that. You know how punk rock that sounds. You know, it was punk rock when you all abided by every single COVID restriction and didn't ask
you
any
gotta keep them
question about it. That's
vaccinated.
also
Bah, 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 bah,
yeah,
bah. No, I think
yeah. Gotta kick out our drummer, even though it's not even really gonna get in the way of us playing live shows.
I think it's weird just in general to be. Well, it's also super punk to tell people what they should have to do to qualify to be punk. That's always been my
Yeah.
favorite thing. Is like we've talked about it a million times. The dress code, the fucking rules, the fucking like all this other shit. It's like, you know what it was supposed to be? Was supposed to be what, like, anti-establishment for sure. But it's also like you brought. It's the same thing with comedy. Comedy is the same. Is like is a profession that is like there's no rules. You can be anything you want. It's art. You can do anything. And then they're just like, what are you doing? No, you're not supposed to do that. Where's your clips? You
Yeah.
got to do like, okay, if there's a rule book, you got to give me the rule book. But if you're the anti-establishment fucking anarchy guys, be anti-establishment anarchy guys and stop worrying about what other people are doing and just be punk, you fucking posers. You're all posers. Everybody's a poser.
Well, everyone's a poser, but thank you so much. You know how to get me going in the morning, Pat. Well, also my whole thing is like, yeah, like whenever people get mad about that, I go, yeah, but you still support the government like a bitch. So I like, for me personally, I'm like, it's the fucking Family Guy meme where it's like, kids, stop. You're both
Voting,
just so
voting is
terrible.
not cool. It's not cool to be like, well, my voice was heard. Whoa. You know, it's like one of those things where you're like, if you're a punk, I would think that you're the guys that are like, we'll make our voices heard. It's not, I don't have to do it under your terms. I'm going to make my voice heard. And it's just like, I'm going to make my voice heard. I'm going to wait in that line. I'm going to go up to that guy. I'm going to give him my name, and I'm going to go over to that ballot. I'm going to pick the people that I think are most sensible for my county. And it's like, oh yeah, whoa, brother. Holy shit. How about if you don't like what's going on, you burn something down?
Even
pussies.
No,
not literally.
Well, no, don't do that.
Just
Not literally, just the words
like
I
on
said.
Fortnite and stuff. There's gasoline cans in Fortnite. Why else would there be gasoline cans in Fortnite unless you're supposed to riot?
You know, the symbolic version of "don't go vote, burn things down" in your neighborhood.
This is a good point.
There is also a there's also a thing too that annoys me with a lot of that like punk rock shit, where it's like a lot of, because I was thinking about it during, and you know, he's our big sassy hero, Davey Havoc. But even in that interview that we both watched, where he was like breaking down why he was like vegan straight edge, and it felt like, well, kind of like what you were saying, is a lot of it's anti this, anti that. And I go, I get that when like a lot of the mainstream or bigger shit, if you're being anti for the sake of it, just because something's big and mainstream, just like on its face philosophically, I don't necessarily like fuck with that per se. Like I get it, because usually the bigger thing is fucking lame, but like to me, doing like the punk rock shit is to me is like, do the right thing regardless.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean? Like just focus on what's right. And a lot of times most human beings in life are just focused on fitting in and fitting in the way that makes the most sense for them.
Was it Paul Ryan? Or there was a politician.
Yeah, I remember him from a while ago.
I think it was politician that he was like, oh, I love Rage Against the Machine. And they were like, bro, did you even listen to our music? And then they go on a fucking arena tour. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those things of like, you write your new metal, your fucking hip hop metal and shit. Like you're a style of music. You're like, yes, not everybody's going to be reading the lyrics and doing the research, Zach. I also don't know what you stand for, and I don't care. That's the thing, because I don't think I think whatever it is it every like I can't even think of the. It's not even like a matter of like it's. You can see it in fighting, you see it in music, you see it in art, you see it in everything. Where it gets to the point where it's the silk sheet analogy, but it's not necessarily. It's. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's hard to
No,
get up to. It's
I
hard to
don't
get
know.
up and run at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk sheets. It's like one of those things where like
but also if you have silk sheets, you get a better night's sleep, and then you're more energized to go
true.
run. So
If you have a better mattress, you get a Tempur-Pedic. You know, one of those.
Well,
things
and also people don't think about flannel sheets because they associate flannel with like a flannel shirt, but the way that they do it.
Cotton sheets or those jersey sheets? Those jersey sheets are affordable versions of what we're talking about. You know what
Brother,
I mean?
wait, they're sheets made out of like football jerseys? That sounds uncomfortable, Pat.
I gotta tell you, it's actually cheerleading jerseys. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of sparkle and a lot of like confetti.
Yeah, and then when you go and purchase them, you go, "Oh no, you don't have to wash them."
Yeah, not practical. Not
Oh
practical
no.
sheets. I'm not saying it's practical to get up on cheerleader sheets, but like it's just one of those things where like it comes with a t-shirt cannon. Are you gonna fucking argue with me?
Yeah,
No. Yeah. So like
and
that's
when
the
I
thing.
see an AI video of it, I'll just assume it's real. I'll assume that old lady got rocked and up immediately because I'm getting older and we're all gonna die.
I wasn't fooled as much as it was just wishful thinking, Andrew. I
did want that
wanted it
lady
to happen.
die. I wanted that lady to die.
I knew her immediately, and I was like, "Get her."
You know, I'm glad you brought up Rage Against the Machine because this kind of, if you don't mind getting into Drag the Lake immediately, because this actually kind of associates to a thing I wanted to talk about music wise that I was just thinking about this morning, and then we can get into talking about Kiss Alive, which I'm very excited to talk with you about.
I have a couple. Yeah, I have a couple things actually that I would like to bring up as well before we get into Kiss as well.
Perfect.
Cool.
No, because it started to make me realize, like you were saying with Rage Against the Machine, it was like, Rage Against the Machine starts crying or bitching or people in general being like, "Oh, can you believe Paul Ryan listens to it?" You're like, "Oh, what? One of the most popular."
Yeah.
Also, and not even just popular.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking approachable music-wise. You're good music that is easy listening at times, and you're like, it's like, I get it, you're trying to be fucking political, but also accept that your shit is very digestible to most people, because most of the time your lyrics are not that heavy and they're repetitive. And it's this like fucking thing where people are like, "Oh, you told me this milquetoast thing isn't badass to everyone?" You're like, "No, sorry, you're writing very approachable music."
I think it was the fact that they weren't scaring politicians anymore. Like that's the thing, is like they thought they were scaring politicians, and it was like, "Wait, you're not scared of us?" And he's like, I was like 14 when you guys came out, right? So like if that's the case, then I don't know how old Paul Ryan is, but he was a younger politician. He was probably of the mindset. And by the way, fuck you, I won't do what you told me. Like it can go for anything. It can go like that can be people at a fucking abortion clinic on either side. That could be fuck you, I won't do, like they say, leave, you can't protest here, and they go, fuck you, I won't do what you told me. And they say, stop sucking out those babies, and they go, fuck you.
Yeah, well,
I don't care.
That's so funny. That's actually really fucking funny that fuck you, I won't do what you tell me goes to each. Honestly, it applies to both sides of most political arguments. Yeah.
It could be pedophiles. You know what I mean? Like they're at a Walmart. They're just like, fuck you, I'm looking for a 13-year-old. Fuck you, I'm looking for a 13-year-old.
That's so funny when you're at Walmart. Pat, this is a new episode of Pat George Confessions. Dude, that'd be so funny if like you're a pedophile going to Walmart and then someone's like, "This guy's here to be a 12-year-old boy," and then you're about to run, and then you're like, wait, what did Zach De La Roche say again? Fuck you, I won't do what you told me. Fuck you, I'll go on a date with that kid. Fuck you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get pissed off at other people because your message was not clear enough. It's like one of those things of like, yeah, you're singing about El Salvador and South America and fucking San Francisco. My whole party is here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I work in Ohio. I don't give a shit. You never mentioned Ohio, so I'm fine. I love you guys.
But no, I was thinking about this morning because I want to I was listening to the new Acacia Strain album, which is very, very good. I actually listened to it twice. It was so good. It was so nice, Pat. I listened to it twice. The fuck is it called though? I just want to look it up. Oh yeah, you are safe. You are safe from God here. And I was listening to it, and I'm hearing the lyrics. And you know me, I'm not like a religious person. I have been more open-minded to what the hell's out there. You know what I mean?
You aren't Christian, but you are Christian conservative, which is weird. I don't understand how that works, but
hardcore Christian conservative. And sometimes when I'm bored, I'm just a Zionist, dude.
So straight up, I go, give me that.
No, I guess what I'm trying to say is just like, you know, I like learning about aliens and dimensions and feeling fucking like there's something bigger to this world, but also not liking organized religion. And then there's things about religion that you're just like, well, that's fucking stupid. And that doesn't, you know what I mean? Like just having that, like, you know, basically upgrading from high school atheist, you know, having that broader perspective on what the fuck's bigger than us than just high school atheist. And so I'm listening to the Acacia Strain album, and I'm not trying to shit on them. The album's fucking amazing, but lyrically, like there's literally one song at the end he just says about 20 times in a row. He goes, "God's not real." Like it's like, lyric wise, it's heavy on like, you know, God's not fucking real, and then we just die and nothing happens. And like I was kind of I caught myself rolling my eyes, but it's not because I'm sitting there being like, this is blasphemous, these goddamn pagan lyrics. And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm bored. Like from a lyrical standpoint, I'm just laughing because I'm like, I'm 35. Wasn't this the whole fucking thing? When like back in the day? It just feels, you know, I think sometimes I look at, like, I've noticed for myself, I get mad when people don't know the things I know, because I'm just like, well, I'm told I'm stupid all the time. So how the fuck have people not caught up to where I am? You know what I mean? Which is probably not the best way to look at things. It makes you very angry constantly. But like, there is a thing where it's just like, I caught myself listening to the Acacia Strain album lyrically, from a lyrical perspective, just being like, oh, you guys are still on that one. You guys are still on that one. It felt like a little bit of like, I feel like we moved past that. I feel like we're on to fucking aliens or interdimensional beings or some higher plane of exist. I don't know. And then I started to realize, I was like, oh yeah, I think for me, like, there's some of these, it's kind of the funny thing in like heavy music and hardcore music in general. They like, some of these groups like intellectually bore me, if I'm being perfectly honest, because it's like, I went over a lot of these things in high school. But then you gotta remember, it's not like all the bands aren't just writing music to be like, well, what's Andy into this week? I'm not trying to look at it from that point, which would be nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say with that exactly.
There's a good point in the chat here. Like it's weird because like somebody like Slayer here, God Hates Us All, I got to tell you, is a catchy song. It's weird to say, and the lyrics are kind of mainly God hates us all.
Oh yeah, dude, this whole Acacia Strain album musically fucking rips.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so no, I'm saying even like that song God Hates Us All, it's very repetitive and it's very simplistic, and most, it's a Slayer song.
I see what you mean. Yeah, and it's the same thing with this album. Has very similar things going on.
But it fits the theme of, it's like Slayer's never not said devil, Slayer, hell, possession, the devil's better than God, God sucks, it doesn't exist, yada yada yada. Like that's within the theme, but it's also like, it's not, they're not tearing up the charts, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think there's a point where like when a band gets to a point where it maybe Acacia Strain has, like, maybe this is a subject matter that they sing about a lot, but like after a while where you're like, who are you doing this for? Because because it's like, it's the same.
Sorry to cut you off, but that's a big part of it too. It's like they've been around since like 2010, and I go like, guys, this is like, we know. That's kind of my thing with the Acacia Strain on this album, is I'm like,
Yeah, we know, dude.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's like Slayer, who is like this band who, you know, they start in like the early 80s, and by the time God Hates Us All, I think that's 2001. I believe it came out, if I remember correctly. I believe God Hates Us All, the album came out on 9/11. We may need to fact check that.
I thought it was way later. No. I also don't know a lot about Slayer.
I'm pretty sure it was 2001. I might be wrong.
It'd be funny if I typed that in and Google AI was like, yes. Damn, yo, that's crazy. It did come out on September 11th.
So like, I'm just saying that like Slayer is all about timing. They're like, yeah, we've been screaming about this for fucking 20 plus years or whatever, but guess what happens today?
Yeah,
they're like, you get this album. Because that's the thing is, Andy, just imagine if somebody picked up a fucking Acacia Strain album, if they still existed, physical albums, or like, let's just say they're online, they're like, huh, they're like, God Hates Us All, whatever. What was it called again? I'm sorry. What were they screaming over and over again?
I think it's
God Isn't Real, or
well, one of the songs is God Isn't Real. You are safe from God here.
Okay, yeah. So like they're just repeating, they're like, okay, we get it. And they just click out of that and they open up another thing and they see a 9/11 happen and they're like, oh.
All right. Well,
they might be onto something. I'm gonna go back here and just revisit. You know what I'm saying? So like it's the same idea where like you're in the record store and you're like, you look up this thing, God Hates Us All. Come on, guys, whatever. And you see what? Yeah. When did this come out? You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird fucking thing to say, like, it can be done correctly, but it's also a thing where you're right to say, like, we get it. It's the same thing that we've talked about Pennywise in the past and other bands, Bad Religion or something like that, where like they're like, we gotta take over today, and you're like, you've been saying today for 40 years. Well, you can't say that we're going to fight back today. We're going to do this today. Stop saying it. Stop saying that, because you're not doing it.
It's also a lot of times like it's you know what it is. It's like when and here's another band that I don't know if it's this week or it might be in the next week or so, where like I was talking about this. So I told you on my TikTok, I had that one post where I was like, yo, if you're in a band, sub 10K on Spotify, comment down below. I found this band. They're just called 92, which I'm like, that's fun. I didn't know you could name your band just 92. Like
that's the next two number sensation. They're getting ahead of it.
They're getting ahead of it. Yeah. No, they not worried about blinking or anything. Just numbers. And
I'm thinking I was thinking of the 6-7 thing.
Oh yeah, I am
9-2.
9-2. I don't want to do 6-7 because it looks like I'm juggling my titty. I feel like you have to like juggle your titties to do it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, so the band's called 9-2, and I was looking up their music. They fucking rip. They kind of sound like End It mixed with Trapped Under Ice and a little bit of just like hardcore and hardcore punk and shit like that. And I watched one of their music videos, and at the end of their music video, it said Google LAPD gangs. And I was like, what the fuck? And I Google it, and it's like this whole thing with like police gangs in LA. And I go, oh, that's how you do politics. That's how you do like politics and music. And it's
but not you, Paul Ryan. Like, do not Google that. Don't Google it, Paul Ryan. You better stay out of here.
I mean, yeah, but you know what he's going to say.
I won't do what you told me. Because he likes Rage, dude. You're fucked. You might have fucked yourself, because guess what? I think we just exposed that Rage Against the Machine is a conservative new metal band.
Exactly. Joke's on you, Rage.
Fuck you're for everyone. What I want.
No, so but then it's like there's bands who now I guess Speed's not the best example because technically they're brand new, so they've like but it's like, or I was talking about bands like the Wonder Years who at the end of their sets when they do big festivals, they're like, before we get out of here, I just want everyone to know, fuck ICE, protect trans youth, and free Palestine, which I'm sure he like believes all that. Yeah. And I'm not even saying he shouldn't.
Do whatever.
But it's how they go about it. Cause I was joking about like, you just see all these bands go free Palestine. And I go, none of you are going, look up the book. Israel lobby. You know, it's like, and then I was like, I see 92 at the end of their video putting Google this, and you're like, yeah, they actually give a shit. It's just like, oh, it's such a coincidence you started giving a shit about fucking Palestine around the same time, or it's just a coincidence you started saying free Palestine around the time it got trendy. You know, the same way as like, wow, would you look at this during all those racial riots, all these fucking streaming platforms now really want to elevate black voices. It's like the timing of it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, it's not, you're not really like putting forth the fight you think you are. You're not going about it the way you, because it's like, it's also a thing too, going back to like talking about God and stuff or religion and stuff. It's just like in 2025, you know, when I don't know what I'm trying to say. I got so many thoughts swirling around. It's like in 2025, when you're talking about it this way, it's like, it's not the fuck you think it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, actually go and tackle something like real or something, rather than just being like, it is another thing too, of like, a lot of this stuff is just, you're existing to be like in the opposite of something. It's again why I always like the straight edge stuff makes me laugh, where it's like, it doesn't even come off as like an identity. It comes off as like an opposite of an identity.
It's just structure. It's a bunch of traumatized fucking psychopaths trying to fucking give themselves structure. Like you don't have parents, so like you just hate every male figure no matter what, which is most politicians. It's just the thing. It's you go one way, either you're like fuck you dad, or like my dad is the best thing that happened to me. Like it's you get those things, but you can still. It's really that's all it is. And if you hate your dad, most likely you become a liberal person who would say like that would go like fuck you, I won't do what you told me to your what.
I really. That's why we're how we are, because we're not like, we're like, I love you, Dad.
Yeah,
but
I love you, Dad, and Mom. Let's sit down. I'll get to you in a second. You know, do you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things of like it's there's big old asterisks. I love you, but there's big old asterisks on there.
Brother, come over here too. Everyone's got something.
Yeah, that's literally. I have a joke in that I like. If anybody fucked with my family, I'd be like, stop. You know what I mean? But I would never like fucking die for any of them, because it's like, it's one of those things of like, it's just a thing that it's if you feel like that and you try to find you self-medicate in any way, whether it be substances or your surroundings. So like, you're going to try to figure out a way to get some stability, and stability, what you think is stability. So what you think is stability might be like, you know, well, I've got, you know, a bunch of guys that basically support all my decisions. So that's the thing is, it's sometimes it's just that attention. But if you go fuck you, Dad, you're gonna be like, I think we need a woman in the White House, and you're like, well, why? Because fuck my dad. Like eventually, it just comes down to because men ruin everything, and you're like, but who raises men? Women. So you're just like, so it's one of those things where you can go like, no. Fuck everybody.
It's almost like it's a two-way
street. Everybody can be. Everybody is flawed. Everybody has flaws, but it's just about how you acknowledge them. I think really.
Well, a lot of it too correlates to a similar how, in my opinion, people look at relationships in a shitty way. People always look at like we have all those friends you talk to about their romantic relationships, and they talk about it almost like they're trying to win it, and you're like, no, it's kind of like it's a team sport. It's not you're not Kobe and just being like, why don't they pass me the ball enough? It's like no, it's like a team. It's a team effort, and that's the big thing people don't realize about men and women is they're always trying to make them act more like them, when it's like, no, we need to play off each other better. And that's kind of how it is with the bigger shit. It's like, no, there's no one bigger dickhead. It's just we're not understanding how to work with each other properly.
This is going all the way back to not being a religious person, but I'm also not necessarily like because that's atheist? I think that's just as silly. I think you saying definitively there is no God is just as stupid sounding as people saying there is a God. Like you don't know. And you need to fucking realize and acknowledge you don't know. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody fucking knows, you lying fucking assholes. So stop saying.
Okay, we're not talking about Queens of the Stone Age, Pat. We're talking about Kiss.
Oh man, Kiss. Let me tell you, I had a fucking. Oh yeah.
Wait, you had?
No,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
that,
to cut
like,
you off. You were in the middle.
You
of,
don't know.
cooking.
So like, if the fact that like anybody goes definitively, there is no God. I think you sound just as stupid as somebody knocking on my fucking door, going like, "I've got all the news about God.
Yeah.
Sit down." All right, here we go. So I got this pamphlet. We got it all in the pamphlet. We sum God up in this book. Here we go.
We've actually figured out the secrets of the universe and fit them into three small.
We assign chapters to existence. Hold on. Now, I think there's. I did have a couple things that I want to show you. We're in Drag the Lake right now, right?
Oh yeah. We're on Drag the Lake. That's what I was trying to get to. Is you had some grievances of your own?
I have. I got one thing, real quick.
Do you have to?
No. Merch wise, I have something. Here.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't get merch, but I did. Hold on. Y'all peep this. No, which one is it? There we go.
Figuring that out, I do want to say again, please go check out that Acacia Strain album. It does fucking rip really hard, and it is very good listen. I was the fucking, is the audio sucking ass? No. Gay.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, this. So, this is the thing I wanted to bring up. This is this past weekend. Pretty much almost as soon as we got done recording, I started seeing a bunch of updates about the When We Were Young.
When We Were Young, yes.
Here it was in Las Vegas, and it's basically the Warped Tour thing that they kind of sum up.
Yeah, they cram Warp. Honestly, it's kind of came off better than the actual Warped Tour they brought back, because I did a stream about it forever ago when they brought back Warped Tour. It was crazy how many like SoundCloud rappers there were and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, this is why you guys failed.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to bring up though, was the merch. Like it is so fucking vast, but it's like, this is nuts, because I would assume tickets to this were probably not super cheap, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Also,
no, I don't know if they were like overpriced, but it wasn't cheap.
Also, I don't know. I think this is all just the When We Were Young, like, merch. This isn't even band merch.
Yeah.
This is just that shit. This is nuts. $30 for a water bottle. $12 for 3 pins.
Yeah.
There's a 3-button pack here. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell? Is this the tariffs? Is this just the state of merch nowadays? Like,
can you go back? Well, yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna get at. Can you go back up top? Yeah.
Up here?
Yeah, because
this is just a lineup tee.
Yeah. I will say that's not $40 in the modern era is actually not crazy.
For a t-shirt, dude, that's fucking crazy to me. For an event t-shirt. I'm saying, like, if it's a band that you love, but like,
let me put it this way. It's like, I'm not surprised at the rate of them fucking you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not me saying $40 is perfectly fine for a t-shirt. Why are you complaining? And this is probably my problem, where I don't get annoyed enough, where I go, oh yeah, that seems like the right amount of fucking you. I was like, what's wrong? That's how much I would expect.
Yeah, you're just used to it. That's what it is.
But that's the problem, is like, you then create a standard of like of fucking you that seems fine. You know what I mean? But also, you know what also goes on in my head? I would never, because like, I'm not going to When We Were Young Fest to be like, hell yeah, When We Were Young, this is so cool that you're doing this, da-da-da. And it's like, no, I know this is a cash grab. I'm going to hold my nose because I want to go see Panic at the Disco or some shit like that.
Right. Yeah.
So like, getting a When We Were like if someone was like, did you see how expensive the When We Were Young festival shirts are? I'd go, you know what? I got to be honest. I didn't even contemplate purchasing one of those was an option because I just go, who would do that? So like then my brain just goes like, well, if you buy that, you deserve to lose your money almost.
Yeah.
But all that being said, you are right. Those prices are fucking nuts. But I think what I was but like that's the problem is like $30 to $40 for a t-shirt is kind of normal when you're going to like a bigger show. Like I saw someone post online, fucking Turnstile was charging like $90 for a hoodie. That I thought was crazy. $90 for because I know I'm very curious.
Right. Hell yeah.
Why
me too, brother. If 25 is my limit, but if you're getting into the $30, $40 range, I'm walking up to your thing and I'm feeling the fabric, I'm checking the tag. What if it's a Comfort Colors, or if it's a nice brand t-shirt, but if this is just a fucking if you got a thin ass fucking bullshit screen printed shirt that you're trying to sell me for $40 just because it has the starting line or the fucking who was the one you said, a Panic at the Disco, like just the name of the band on the back in a list of bands.
It's almost it's almost guaranteed to be like a low quality shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like $40, like if Panic at the Disco had a $40 shirt, I'd go, all right, whatever. Like if your fans are gonna pay that. Turnstile, they're really at this point, you have to make hay while the sun's shining. You know what I mean? If they've been around forever and everybody's been like, they're my favorite band and they're back, like spend the money, get all the fucking shit you can. But this is crazy.
I will say this though, like I think about it too, like when we look at the panty shirts we sold, and like the one I got was the special, like extra, like nicer fabric, got a little bit more to it, you know, complimentary to the big boys. And I'm wearing that shirt, and I was like, I'm wearing it going like, I'm okay with this costing $32.
Exactly.
Because it's a good quality, and you just have to factor in inflation at this point. You know what I mean? Like. But yeah, so I will say that there is a thing of like, if it's $40 and that, like, I've been there with, when me and Mike Eaton were doing that food show, and you'd roll in and they'd be like, yeah, this thing is like $40 or whatever the fuck. And you're like, that's kind of pricey. And then you start eating and you're like, all right, fine. I get why you charge $40 for that. It seemed crazy off the jump. That being said, the odds that these shirts are high quality are fucking, I don't have a lot of faith in that.
Yeah, I figured something out a long time ago, and this is like, it helped my merch buying ways so much because I'm a compulsive retard. So like when I go to a show or an amusement park or a fucking festival or anything, I'll go like that and I'll go, oh, it's pretty good. And I'll go, yeah, you know what? I really like it here at Busch Gardens, so I'm going to buy a Busch Gardens shirt. And I just buy it and I go, I'm never wearing this. I will never wear this. I get the same idea with this, or like Universal Studios. I got to a point where I'm not going to buy anything with a guy not wearing a shirt that looks better than me, posing in a shirt, not wearing anything better than me. What was the other thing? No amusement parks themes or event themed shirts unless they're free. I'll take them for free, but I can't buy that shit anymore because I know in my heart of hearts I will never wear it. I've bought so many shirts. I go to Universal Studios and I go, oh, this is a cool Marvel shirt, but it has a big fucking Universal Studios logo on it. And I go, well, I'm going to find the one that doesn't have that. And I finally find it and I go, cool. And then I never fucking wear it because it's just the thing. I don't get it. It's just, I don't wear merch that is like promoting something else. It's almost like most podcast shirts. Like if it says Panties in the Mouth podcast, just that, nothing else. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to wear just your logo maybe. But if it's a design, there's a joke, if there's a thing, if there's whatever it is, I'll wear that. But it's so crazy to me. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to wear logos or what was the other thing? Or like I said, like a UFC guy posing that looks better than me. I'm like, I can't do that. I just can't.
Don't you got a Volkanovski or whatever his name is?
It's a candid shot. It's him in the thing. He's not actually posing for the.
But he does look pretty sexy.
Way better than me. and I don't wear it often because it also is a lighter color, so it shows my sweat stains.
Well,
so,
that's what I was gonna say. A big thing for me is how the shirt fits. So I remember like the Harm's Way shirt. I do like to just rep Harm's Way, but a big reason I wear that shirt is just because. What is he doing over there? It's breaking stuff. Pat's gay. He can't hear me. Oh, anyway, I wasn't saying nothing about you being gay.
Huh?
But no, I was saying like there is another thing too where like I will like if the shirt has a little extra to it and I don't have to pull it down constantly all day, I will also just wear that shirt a lot.
Yeah.
I think for me too, it's like I accept the higher prices. Like I got Derek in the chat going, I will not pay more than $20 a shirt. And it's like I've seen a bunch of these smaller bands go like, dude, we have to charge these prices for these shirts on tour and stuff like that. And I've accepted that. But like it kind of goes back to it's why I've actually been eating less fast food. Well, I've been eating more McDonald's because they're still cheap, but just broadly speaking,
just
I've
real
been eating,
slow.
just real slow. Well, no, the thing, like I'll go to McDonald's because you get 2 double cheeseburgers for $4. That's a date night, dude.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot of fast food. If you go in, you're like, would you like the value meal? And it's the same price as like restaurant prices and shit like that. You're like, that's not what the deal was. You know what I'm saying? So the deal was like, I don't pay a lot of money and I ignore the fact that this is really, really fucking bad for me. And we just have a good time. So it's kind of a vaguely similar thing with the band merch where you're just like, it's not saying the merch is bad for you the way McDonald's is, but it's like, you're accepting the reality of the moment. You're like, yeah shit's hard for you guys. Shit's expensive, but but I think that like you guys kind of got to factor in now, like, that this is also expensive for us now. So just make sure the shirt's nicer. Like a band I love, like, so it pains me to kind of criticize them publicly like this, but like even Kubla Khan, I love their merch, but like every time I get it, it does not, it's not the best quality. You know what I mean? It's kind of that shit that, and I would, whoever is making Kubla Khan's merch needs to hit up Every Time I Die's merch guy, because there's the same fan base of Big Boys. I don't know why Kubla Khan isn't keeping their Big Boys in mind.
Yeah, it doesn't really, it's a thing just in general. Like I think merch in general, when you see the list of that, you think like maybe if you're thinking positive side, or let's just say like, if you're just giving benefit of the doubt to When We Were Young Festival, you're like, well, they're giving people plenty of options to buy merch. If you want to, like, I'm a practical guy. If I am going to buy something that has like a logo or something on it, it has to be functional aside from just clothing. So it's got to be a water bottle. It's got to be, because like if it's just apparel, I can't do that. But if it's a pair of sunglasses that I can wear that has a logo on it that I can, it's like, okay, I'll do that.
Or like I even saw the one When We Were Young thing. I don't know. It's like, it's also, well, I don't know. I'm mixed about it. Cause like I will get behind a tour shirt, but like I got a tour shirt for like Run the Jewels one year.
Yeah.
But that's also like when we were young, it was like, that kind of goes back to my McDonald's analogy where it's like you kind of hold your nose because you're like, yeah, this is like corporate and gross, but they facilitated all the bands from my childhood. So you kind of like let it happen. You kind of let it, because it's like they met the agreement. They're like, yes, this is big and corporate and gross, but when you show up, you'll get to see 30 bands you loved from high school. And you're like, fair trade-off.
Yeah, we did it.
but like that's still, that doesn't make me want to get a tour shirt from that, because I'm just imagining all that money going to some fucking, you ever see the meme that they show of the like Wall Street trader like laughing into a cell phone? It's like that one. I just imagined some fucking bigwig guy on his yacht just being like, "Haha, yes, I've made all these riches based off the starting line and Dance Gavin Dance or something like that." I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't want to, like, I know the bands aren't getting any of that merch money. I'm just giving a corporation or whoever's organizing this, like, this is just going to Live Nation or whoever's running this.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to continue. Like you're getting the ticket price. I'm gonna have to buy vendor stuff here. Like all this stuff. Like you're getting my money. I had to pay for parking or whatever else. Like you're getting a chunk of everything. So just like it just felt very predatory, I guess, in that sense. But also like I am sickened at the fact that that you are so used to this. In general, that people are used to this in general. You know what I mean? Like that they're just like, yeah, $40 is, yeah, it's only because that's how they fucking do it. It's like regulations, it's like fucking laws, it's like anything else where it's just like if once they put it on or toll anything, once they're never going to lower it. They're never going to lower it. So it's never going to get back down to $25. This means now that you're like, well, yeah, $30 is about standard. And if it's 40, that's only $10 more. And it's like, no. Standard should be like 16 to 20. That's the standard. That's but I know the shipping and tariffs and
that's the thing. That's the thing though. It's like, I under 40 is high, but like it is because of inflation and tariffs and stuff like that. Yeah. That being said though, there is a ceiling to it. It's not like,
I would hope.
It's not like you're gonna go to the store. It's not like you're gonna go to concerts and just go, well, I guess t-shirts are 60. No, if t-shirts get to 60, bands aren't selling t-shirts.
We'll timestamp this just in case, and we'll check back in a couple years just to see if because that's the thing is like I want to believe you, but I think at some point it's gonna come down to because I remember.
Are you gonna buy a $60 t-shirt?
Never ever.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
But when it came down to okay. So what you're saying is it could get to 60, but I think that's the line.
Obviously, there's retards that are like Taylor Swift fans who, if she was like, this is a fucking picture of a t-shirt and it costs $800, they're going to buy that piece of paper.
They'll wait in line for hours to buy that picture.
Yeah, obviously there's sycophants like that. But like, if it's just regular people going to shows at like a fucking, if we go to Empire down here, or if you go to somewhere bigger like Emo's over here, like any band, I'll pay the ticket price to go see them. Well, even that, there's a cutoff to that. Like my fucking Kubla Khan's my favorite fucking band. If they showed up to Empire and tickets were $300, I go, hey, I'll go watch your fucking hate. I'll go watch your Hate 5-6 video, guys.
What do? We go bar to stage ratio, and we go, doesn't add up. You go $300. I can see the bar from the stage. If I'm standing at the stage, I can look and I can see the bar.
I gotta be honest.
That's not a $300 ticket.
I'm gonna need a couple bars. Honestly, dude, if tickets are $300, I'm gonna need some apps. Like
I need some studs and some fucking drywall, brother, in between you and the other fucking rooms. Because I like this needs to feel like a special event. But if you want to know what a special event feels like, you just call the pit police.
Oh, mine's in my car.
It's okay. Do you want to get? I just have a real quick one if you want to get into it.
Sure, why not?
This is something I saw, and it literally is entitled, "Is this acceptable behavior?" What do you think? Let me know. Let's find out together.
Oh, yeah. I saw this one. This one's so fucking funny. Wait, let him play again.
Hold on. I love that they play it back in slow-mo.
I mean, is he okay?
That's the end of the video. So I mean, we'll watch it again just in case. There's a rib punch, a fucking slim slam.
Well, that's
his head doesn't look to make full contact. He might have scraped his face a bit.
Yeah, he caught himself at the end. Well, no, my whole thing for stuff like that.
Walk it off.
It'll be like, people will be like, you're not allowed to do that. I go, I don't know. I think he needs to get stronger than that guy.
I mean, brother, like if somebody punches you and you go like, ow, and then somebody grabs you like this and they throw you, to me, I'm going like, as I'm down, I'm like this. I'm like looking up going like, who am I running after? Like, I'm going to fucking like it needs to go. if I may, as a professional.
It's so funny to just grab a kid and throw him into the It's so fucking funny.
It's crazy. This is not even crowd killing. This is just murder. This is killing. You're trying to kill someone. This is manslaughter. This is boy slaughter.
Well, there's something about like the smaller dudes in the pit, like they don't think they can defend themselves. So you're like, you're allowed, like the way you can crowd kill back. See, that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, is this acceptable behavior? Because I'm like, I don't know. If it was me, I'm like, I'm not down. You didn't knock me out. There was no like punch to the head. If it was a sucker punch to the face, I'd be like, whoa, come on. He gave him the body shot, tied him up, and fucking flip-flapped him, right?
Yeah.
Almost belly to back suplexed him. And and we can see he looked like, I mean, his head doesn't hit the floor. He seems like, if I may, Andy, I'm gonna just go out on a limb here, on a police issued limb, and I'm gonna say, I think that's his friend.
Yeah.
Because like if this was in anger, and this is why you gotta think about it when you're watching the thing. Of course, it's hilarious. Of course, it's hilarious. Of course, it's incredible to see.
So funny.
But like, is it acceptable? You gotta really watch. You can't just see it. You gotta watch it, right? You gotta look inside of it, and you gotta see he didn't hit. He had a fucking clear shot. He could have fucking slammed that guy right in the goddamn face. He could have gave him a fucking punch to the head, threw him down on the ground, but he threw him back. He tried to like throw him into the churn. It almost seems like. Yeah. I suspect that these might be buddies, and if this video continued, I think that young boy gets up and kind of just tackles his friend into the crowd, expanding the pit. This is what a pit should be.
Yeah,
you're in the pit. You're gonna get thrown around. It's acceptable behavior because it's all below the neck. It's all under. It's under tit. Even I think he even hit him. It's like under here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. If you're not going for the vitals up here and you're just going body shots, I'm telling you, it's not prison. People aren't trying to like hide bruises and shit. They're not. This is not a weird thing that like they're gonna all put soap in their pillowcases and smash this guy. Yeah. I just feel like this isn't a malicious attack. This is hijinks. But Andy, I don't know about you.
Well, you made it.
Give you the hat.
Thank you.
Damn, that would be so fucking cool if you just had even just a black hat to go like this. Ugh. There we go. Oh, Andy's got it now. He's just gonna set it next to him. He's not gonna put it on. It's okay. It's in your house now anyway. If I can.
Wait, do it again. Do it again. They don't need to know it's a beanie. Oh, it's a hat. It's just a hat the whole time. Just a baseball cap. No, I love it. No, you were saying something.
2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs big up my butt. You were saying they were probably friends.
Yeah.
I have personal experience because the only time I've ever done anything remotely close to this, I did it to you. Because
that's what I'm saying. It's like
we were at Jesus Piece, and I remember at one point I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit Pat with a crossbody, and I pointed you out, and I ran, and I went,
yeah.
And did like, because that's what, it like it's one thing to crowd kill where you like go up to the edge of the pit and like dudes will, because this is when you know they're crowd killing someone they don't know, is they're not making. They know what they're doing, but they're not making direct eye contact, so they could be like, "Well, it was an accident."
Yeah.
And so they're just on the and then they go back to it. This is like I'm throwing my friend because he's little, and we fuck with him because he's littler than us.
Yeah, this just feels like classic like knucklehead behavior. A couple of buddies at a show, and I think, and it's just clear by the actions. Like, I mean, you watch that, you see the young man, sure, he takes a backflip-ish kind of turn, sure, he takes a couple shots, but there's nothing malicious there. I feel like, I mean, nothing to see here. Move along.
Well, and this really is like, this really is a great microcosm of life. And it's like, you don't want to get hurled at the stage, don't let people hurl you at the stage. And you're like, but how do I do that? Figure it out, little
Don't turn your back to the crowd, but I'm in the crowd and they're everywhere. Don't be there.
Yeah. I have a question. I have a technical question to ask. Now I don't know what a production question to ask you.
What up?
I did not time today out properly. I have a phone call I have to make at 1:00, and I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be long, but we will have to pause at 1, and we haven't talked about Kiss yet.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe
I have an interesting take on Kiss.
Okay. Well, I was thinking maybe I just have to pause at 1 to take a call, and then I don't even think it'll take a while, but it's at 1.
Well, I have a hard out at 1 because I have a pet sitting at 2 p.m. But after that, I could probably hop on later on today if you needed to, or we could try tomorrow.
We could do one
if we don't make it.
Yeah. Well, we're not gonna have enough time to do No More Heroes, so maybe we do that Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, the only thing I have tomorrow is pet sitting at 2, gay sex at 3, and I'm doing
2:30.
And UFC. I put UFCs in my calendar, so I don't book anything, and then I book something. So
okay, cool.
I'm an idiot. But UFC 321 starts at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about it.
Ooh,
so I'll be watching UFC at my pet sitting house.
Okay, all right.
But
hopefully my pet sitting house has Stream East.
Yeah,
is Stream East back?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't do that kind of stuff. Never heard of it.
Copy that, Pat.
I pay full price for everyone that I watch.
Hell yeah. All right, here, quick edit so I can take a piss, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Hey guys. It's just me, Pat. Nobody else. We can reschedule our 3:00 appointment, Pat. Oh no, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Stream East will never die. That's absolutely right. I agree with you, Dunbar. Actually, I don't use that. I usually go over I watch ESPN Plus. I'm really excited that they're going to go to not pay-per-views, but I also fear, like, a lot of people are fearing that the quality of the events will go down, and I'm like, I don't think, if you're a fan of MMA, I don't think that that's possible. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's really, I'm somebody that gets hyped about certain, like, free card. The Vancouver card just recently was fucking sick. That was crazy good. And it wasn't an Apex card. So, like, my thing would be, I think what it was Netflix wanted in the deal, they wanted to, they only wanted non-Apex events. And like UFC was like, fuck you. And it's like, well, I understand it's affordable for them and everything. And I don't mind the lineups on the Apex cards, but it's just I don't like the no crowd thing or the lower crowd. It feels like now that we don't have to have that. I don't think it's necessarily that the quality of the events will go down. I think like it'll kind of even out. Does that make sense? It almost like legitimize UFC as a sport in comparison. Like, it's going to be like a weird thing where I feel like because I just watched a thing on it today about like the fact that like stars in the UFC don't seem to be what they were back in the day. Like, trash talk is not a thing anymore. Like, it doesn't feel like a like a fighting sport anymore. It just feels like a traditional sport. And I think the Paramount deal is going to do more for that. So I'm excited that it's going to be more available. I think they're still going to figure out ways to like fuck people, but I don't think any of so like, I think Stream East and stuff like that, that's how they get Stream East and stuff to die, is essentially giving it away. But in giving it away, I don't think it's going to lower the quality. It's just going to legitimize it more and maybe make it not as like fun. You know what I mean?
Well, there's
like, a new ESPN. They wanted them to not curse anymore, and it's like, brother, they just got into a fist fight, and so when they come up and they go like, "That guy fucking sucks," and they're just like, "Bleep it, it's Disney." It's like, dude,
well,
this is blood sport, you fucking idiot.
Well, that's what I realized where capitalism fucks up. Is capitalism should not be a part of the process when it comes to art. When you bring in capitalism, art, sports, all these things that just need to be like a pure expression of self. You do it, and then when it's done, you go, all right, capitalism, how do we make money off of what we just did? That's what it should be. It should be like, do the UFC thing, let the fighters be themselves, and then capitalism will figure it out around it.
Build it around it, yeah.
It's when they jump into the mix and they go like, hey, guys who professionally punch each other in the head, if you could not curse
keep the language down. I just talked about it. We were watching what I was gonna bring it up on for No More Heroes, but like movie remake shits. We'll talk about it more. But I was just watching. I watched the new I Know What You Did Last Summer.
How bad is it?
It's I will tell you tomorrow.
Okay.
See that? See what I did there? Because I have a whole theme of that I didn't realize.
Try to speed it up.
One more sleep. So until I find out Pat's opinion. But I
have a nightcap on. I'll be like, I'll get to know his opinion about the movie. Is that Pat on the roof?
You wake up the next morning and you go, what is it? What is this day?
Steph, he drank all the Diet Coke. Pat came.
Oh, you reminded me. I got a DC chilling in the fridge, baby. I'm off the DC wagon right now. I'm going hard. But
Pat Claus comes in the night to give you his opinion on movies. Pat Claus has come.
But I take bites out of the cookies, I drink a little milk, and I write a little review, and I go, it wasn't for me. Mid. I can see why people like it.
Just a piece of paper that says mid.
Meh. But it's a thing where I'm watching we were watching the original was on like what are the channels?
It's I watched
yeah.
No, I watched it too, dude. I watched 20 minutes of the remake. I go, this sucks, and I go, let's see if the original's on here. Yeah, and it was on like Paramount or Peacock, one of those two.
This was, I think this was on YouTube TV, and it was on like a broadcast channel. So it was like AMC, one of the ones that does like the 30 Days of Horror, blah, 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 like that kind of thing. And I'm watching it, and they're like, and it always takes me to. I'm always so fucking stupid when it comes to this shit. I'm watching it because I feel like some cable networks don't censor their movies and others do. They all have commercials, but some of them do censor them and some don't. So it's taken me a while, and it's just like, I just think we all need to just chill the freak out, okay? Oh, there's a car coming. Shoot. And it's just like, you just showed a guy with his neck cut open. You showed a guy with a hook through his fucking face. And like they go, oh shoot. And it's like, you just let him say shit. Just let him fucking say shit. This is so stupid how censored that shit is. And like how like ESPN can go like, oh my God, he just hit him with 14 consecutive elbows to the fucking forehead. And he's got a big vagina on his head. Yeah. So like, and they show him like the cut man like opening it up and like putting the shit inside and kind of Vaselining and stuff like that. And they're like, all right, but like just don't say anything against God. Don't curse. Don't talk about blood. Actually, I know you're covered in blood. Don't talk about it.
You just watched a guy actively forget his second birthday, and you're like, but don't say fuck.
Yeah, I know that those 14 consecutive headshots actually took about 14 years off your life. But like, if you could just try to remember, I mean, come on, it's pretty simple. Just remember this one thing. We're not asking you to remember your kids' names. We're asking you to remember.
You know, he will be bright lights will give him migraines for the rest of his life, but please don't say shit.
Yeah, when he wakes back up, could you just give him that FCC fine we had for him?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when he wakes back up, just remind him that the world is round.
Yeah, it's all right. We're talking about Rice Mitchell, everybody. No, I just think it's so fucking strange. So like Paramount, hopefully,
or anyone at 10th Planet.
Yeah,
I mean
everybody.
all 10th planets. I'm not because I've met many people from 10th. You have to believe the Earth is flat to go to any 10th planet.
I don't know if any other gym like chain that has that same kind of like thing where like everybody in every gym kind of all thinks that like the Kennedy assassination is not what it seems.
And I didn't even think
all of them think that we don't land on the moon. Like, you know what I mean?
It's the whole chain where it's like, you don't have to, but we all kind of just think the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
At this huge chain.
We have all the black belts on the wall, and also RFK Jr.
Yeah.
He's right over here. We have him. He doesn't have a belt yet, but when he comes here, we're gonna give him a belt. I know that they take jujitsu seriously, but they also take the Inunaki very seriously. So I'm like, grain of salt. But we're talking about music here, right?
Yeah, let's since this is an extendo epo, today the main pre-planned topic, and I'm very excited to get into this. You said you had a lot of opinions. I got a couple opinions myself, known to have a few. But today we are talking about Kiss and their live album, Kiss Alive. Let's get into it. Pat, you want to start it off?
I would love to. So let me take you there.
So here's the thing. I think
I gets into my car. I put on Kiss Alive, and I start heading down to the creek on Monday evening. And I'm cruising. I'm listening to Kiss, baby. I get maybe not even a block from my apartment complex, not even fully away, and I get smashed into by a fucking lady. So I only got about 7 songs into the album total, Andy, and most of it was playing when I was talking to the police officer. So I was, when your phone is connected to the
cops are just talking to you like, son, this is really gonna hurt how much you're gonna party all night and rock every day.
It didn't help my case of like, this wasn't my fault. I want to rock and roll all night. Yeah. It's just, let me just turn this down real quick.
It's just songs blaring like, I'm off the chain and I'm a wild boy. No one can control me. And you're like,
oh, gin, baby. You're like, oh man, what the fuck? So I think this album is cursed, and Kiss is not alive to me. They are a dead to me. So Andy, what are your thoughts?
Did you wait? Did the trauma of your car? Did you not finish?
I forgot. I legitimately, I didn't remember. I had to turn it off. It was, I tell you right now, this is how far, and most of this was accident, but I got into Nothing to Lose, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs into the double album. I have heard it before, but
it's kind of the funny thing of like, so I listened to this album and then I was like, let me listen to the songs this album constitutes. And it was actually pretty easy because this was literally, they put this out only like 3 albums in. So I only had to listen to like 3 albums worth of Kiss. And
which is crazy to have a double live album. Is basically them saying, "Hey, we've put out 3 albums. Here they are live."
Yeah.
Like you should hear all of our songs. And it worked because it was, the album itself is a what is it called? A benchmark in like live album. This changed live albums forever. And it's not technically a true live album, which really fucking pisses me off. Have you ever?
Well, I regrettably, because I was focusing mainly on the music because, well, no, I had a weird thing where I was like, Kiss it. Well, no, this is very important. Kiss did steal the Insane Clown Posse.
This is breaking news from Derek officially, and
I'm really happy Derek threw that out there because
this is not alleged. This is 100% fact.
No one talks about this.
Nobody talks about it.
They're doing it right in front of us, Pat.
Right in front of us.
Right in front of us. But no, that was what? Well, they are all.
That's what I'm saying. It's right in front of us. You can put the make on, but I see your face.
Wait, is this a part of the Zionist agenda?
Notice how he fucking uses this thing to help, like it helps to alleviate.
You know what they do? They do a lot of contouring around the nose.
Yeah, it gives himself a big old widow's peak, and I go, "Whoa, widow's peak! What does it distract from that beak right there, my friend?" All right, we'll start from here. I love this album. They aren't litigious, right? It's funny that you always look like you're wearing a wig, you freaks.
Well, so I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I didn't go deep into because I always knew the thing. They were like, it's heavily edited live album.
Like dubbed. And everything's dubbed except for the drums, which is they even pumped in crowd noise, which is nuts to me. That's not a live album.
See, I didn't even consider the band because like when you listen to it, it's like when you know it's fake, the crowd noise sounds so inorganic because
Exactly.
they always do this on like generic crowd noise where you're like, the crowd would be responding to the things happening. So like, and you can hear the crowd just on their own going like, yeah, woo,
Play another song. We really love Gene.
Well, no, and then you're like, they're playing the song, but the crowd's still going, oh, I'm like, would they not be singing along?
Yeah, singing along, or like it makes me feel I didn't actually look into it, but it made it because like once I found that out, like when I was looking into the album and shit like that, because I remember hearing something about that, and then I looked up the actual thing, and it's literally the most of the instruments, they use very creative language, I feel like, when they explained it, but it was like,
here, I got it right here.
yeah, it's like a lot of the instruments were remixed and dubbed, and like it was like a bunch of weird ways that they put it. But yeah, do you have it?
Kiss yeah, it's
risky.
It said in a 2003 episode of Ultimate Albums, Kiss fully admitted to overdubbing the album. Stanley said, "What we felt was necessary was to capture the energy of the performance, not necessarily having it note for note of what actually happened, or be anything that actually happened."
Like legitimately, they're just like, what if we were in an arena filled with, like, that just makes me feel like, okay, so every band could do that. It inspired other bands to capture that shit, or maybe, or did they? Because it makes me think of I think it's Cheap Trick. I Want You to Want Me, that song live in Budokan. And like, I remember thinking like, these people are losing their mind over this guy. And I'm like,
oh, and it was all fake.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I don't know if but if this album inspired all live albums, I have to put every live album into fucking question now to go like, do you just not know how to? I wanted to be a live recording artist so bad. I wanted to be a tech guy at a fucking venue and be able to get the perfect live sound. And I'm like, does it just not exist? Have we been lied to the entire time?
Has everything not been alive?
Live albums are like my favorite. You know this. Like, live albums are one of my favorite lane of music. I love a band's offering from their live. Like, to me, that's the best representation of a band. It's like a best of meets, like, you get to like find out their vibe. Like, if it's a NoFX one, it's going to be like them doing a lot of joking around and shit like that. And but then I also want the music to sound good. But if are bands just always overdubbing? Are they always doing this, or are they always? It's not always fake.
Well, I think the problem. I think the problem is like sometimes, you know how like you ever listen to like a live podcast and they didn't mic it right, and it just sounds like no one's laughing.
Yeah.
But you can hear off in the distance. It's like, you know, sometimes I will give them benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it is. Via the live recording, it is hard to encapsulate the actual vibe, but it's one thing to like zhuzh it up. It's another thing to just be like,
dub it.
It's the equivalent of just like, I don't know. It's like your girl blindfolded you and was like, I'm going to do crazy stuff to your junk. And then you took the blindfold off and it was a dude. And she was like, but didn't it feel good? You're like, that's not the point.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's the thing. Of like, didn't it sound like a great show? Like,
it did.
Yeah, it did sound like a great show, but it's not a great show. It's like one of those things of like, you offered me what appeared to be a wonderful blowjob, but it was not a wonderful blowjob after all.
Because a big thing for me at blowjobs is that women are doing them. And even if the technique is right, when I find it's like finding out a song's AI. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it. I feel duped.
I don't like it.
I don't like to be duped into.
Yeah, I'm back there being like, hold up, is this a guy's ass? I don't like it.
Does this happen a lot, Andy?
Yeah, dude. I'm like the Mr. Magoo.
You're in your car at a gay brothel and you're on the phone with Steph. Why'd you make me do it again? Where are you?
You tricked me.
You know where I am. Nice try.
That's Andy. He comes in every Friday night and pretends to not know he's getting blown, and then halfway into it just goes, "Oh no!
Oh, dang it again!" And like the guy just holding your keys, like, "Here you go, Andy.
See
you next week."
Yeah. All right, Andy.
No, you won't. You will not.
No, you won't, because I don't even know how I got here.
This is interesting.
Metallica live albums are legit. They used to have every Love live performance on their website. You
Dave
can find the
Matthews.
tour dates you want to. Don't know if they still do that. Another band that does a shitload of actually. Do you listen to Enter Shikari? You don't really listen to them, right? They actually have very fun live albums because they have the electronic element. So they do a cool thing where they'll play a lot of songs and then just do like a dubstep breakdown in the middle and kind of like really go balls to the wall with their shit. People recording from the crowd is my favorite part of the jam band scene. I feel that.
That's like Dave Matthews, I think, had a really like a long-term, I don't know. Again, I don't know if he does it as well, but like that's another band that would like record every show and just kind of offer it out, or you could buy it at the end of the thing or something like that, or you could download the thing later on.
That's the cool element of like jam band fandom. And you guys know me and Pat aren't like the biggest jam band fans, but I would do all those shows with Robbie Bernstein, and he's huge into that kind of shit. And every time he'd be playing it while we'd be like driving to shows, he would never throw on the record. He'd always throw on like a live YouTube video or something like that, because it's just like, if you like the album, the live version's 10 times better because they just go a lot of places.
And it gets better. What? Go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to finish what you were gonna say, but I wanted to read the rest of this like Kiss Live thing because it is funny.
But it has, I think I think in general, like the point of, and plus like recording equipment has gotten better over the years and stuff. And like, I'm sure there's plenty of times where people can like mic the crowd effectively. Like the live at the House of Blues, Thrice's first live album was a double album. And I was so excited about it. I got it for Christmas. I remember one year. And I was so excited because like, I love live albums. I don't know if you know this. I just mentioned it though. And I love Thrice.
Lucky for you, I just forgot.
And this was in like the dead middle of me being a fucking lover of Thrice. Like this was one of my probably top 3 at the time. I love Thrice so much. And like, and the crowd fucking sucked asshole. Dude, they sucked so much. They were off time with their claps. Like when they were doing a song that like you all should know the song. You're all here at the Thrice show at the House of Blues.
And like, I hate when they make the crowd.
And the hi-hat's going.
Yeah, I don't. That's that's every fucking. I don't know why they make the crowd.
Game.
I don't know why they make the crowd clap along to quiet parts, because you're like you're almost
know. That was the thing.
Just asking. You're almost asking, like begging the drummer to fuck up.
They weren't asking them to do it. And this is so funny because not only was the crowd way too loud in the mix, and like the recording sounded very muddy and stuff like that. It's a terrible live recording.
Yeah.
It sounded like a great show necessarily. Like it sounded good, at least. Let's just say that. But they actually like 1 or 2 albums later, they put out another live album. I think because like they recognized how much it sucked.
Yeah.
And there's a fucking part in the album where the crowd starts to clap off time, and legitimately Dustin Kensrue goes, follow the hi-hat. Follow the hi-hat.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about this. Yeah,
and
so funny.
It's just like, I'm like, I love that band so much because they were like, our bad. This sucked. Sorry. Here's another one. And it was great. And it sounded fucking beautiful.
I almost like, it's kind of funny because you're reminding me of a thought I've had about stand-up, similar to like and I think bands should implement this with their live albums, where like every time you put out a live album, you should just put out like 4 different sets to just have like just have like an organic, like, okay, this one wasn't perfect, but if you hear all 4, you'll kind of get the vibe of. And I was like, that would be something cool for a comedian to do, by the way, to just record once their hour's good, record it like 4 to 6 times throughout the year and just put it out. Like, I know it sounds crazy to just go like, oh, here's the same hour 6 times, but like realistically,
it's gonna be different.
Well, realistically, it's not. And then it's like you're going to get those ones because it's like the problem is every time you do the live album or you do a comedy special, you're like, well, we want it to be fucking killer front to back. And you're like, that's literally not how any of this ever goes, almost ever. You're like, every comedian, even the greatest comics ever, like, you're going to have that chunk where there was a lull or something like that. So it's like
a joke bombs, like you fuck up a joke or something like that, where like we're all like, we're professional in the sense that, like, if something fucks up, or I was looking through, I've been organizing and repurposing my Reddit and everything like that. And I was there's some clips that I've posted before, and there's like, most of them are me starting with the joke that I do, but also but it's about the interaction I have with the crowd. And that's not written. That's the thing, is like, that's the stuff I'm most proud. I like, at this point, everybody knows how the fucking sausage is made. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows live albums from bands, live sets from comedians, live anything is, for the most part, a curation of a couple nights shows, and where they wear the same thing, it's lit the same, the cameras are in the same spots, everything. So like, most people know that now. So why not put that out? Because Derek actually brings up a great point to say, like, the fact that, like, it would make them a lot more rewatchable. Because right now, yes, I can see how you structured that set, but like, I know that, like, if you include a crowd interaction, that probably means a joke didn't work multiple nights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or this was
also
a better reaction than that other stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna timestamp this too, because this is my idea. Whoever's watching this and steals it, just know it was Andy Malfrena's idea. So
yeah,
I would like, because there's a chance someone could do that before me, so I would like credit for it before I get to do it.
Yeah.
But no, it would also too. It would do a great deal and help educate people on how stand-up works, because there's a lot of problems you run into with, like, people getting mad at comedy purely because they don't have a good understanding of how the sausage is made. And it's like, if you understood the process just a tiny bit more, you would. It's so funny, because this is correlating to a thought I had the other day where I was just laughing to myself going, it's so funny that some people's depression and anxiety is literally because they're stupid. It's just it's like a really funny thing to think about.
It really is, like, the fact that you're just stuck because you're dumb.
Yeah, just because it's like,
I've been there. I'm there multiple times a year.
Yeah. I'm saying this for personal experience.
Yeah. It is like funny to be like, I'm not depressed. I'm just fucking stupid. I'm just making bad decisions.
Well, it's one of the best things I've ever heard from Kyle Kinane, where he's just like, some people, he's like, you might be depressed because your life sucks. Yeah. Like, it's not, it might not 100% be chemical. You might just be going through shitty things right now.
My doctor, remember I told you when I went to the doctor, not recently, like, I think last year maybe, but it was like, and I remember, because I was telling him all the things I eat and everything like that, and like, he was like, yeah, sounds fine. And I'm like, you're a bad doctor. you're a stupid asshole. What the fuck is wrong with you? I know I'm gonna die soon. Just tell me when.
That does not sound fine.
So like, when he was talking and shit like that, I remember oh fuck, what was I just gonna say? Damn it.
Being depressed.
Oh yeah. He goes, yeah. Are you suffering from any depression? I was like, I'm not suffering. Like, I was like, it's just the run of the mill, like, terrified about, like, the future, wondering about what's going to happen, all that stuff. And he goes, like, he's like,
did he get weird?
He's like, that's not, I'm like, brother, shut up. Not you, him.
Despise those people. I'm sorry. I despise those people so much that when you're just like, oh yeah, just like the overwhelming thought of why we're here, and the failures of the past just become a little bit more. Like,
am I making the right decisions? Where am I in life?
And they look at you like, huh? You're like, fuck you. You don't know. You don't know where I'm coming from. Suck a dick, dude.
It's because I'm so painfully, like I said, I just got into a goddamn car accident, and I go, oh yeah, my phone doesn't work as well. So what do I do right now? I'm like, it's that kind of thing of like, you leave your doctor job and you get into probably an amazing car that I'll never be able to afford, and you drive home to your family, or your home or whatever it is. Like don't act like there isn't something that you're fucked up about. It's situational depression. This is a thing where like if I had money, I would not be depressed nearly as much as I am.
It's so annoying.
I would just have the run of the mill, like, oh, I'm having a bad day. It's not a thing where I'm like waking up and like, uh-oh, I hope I can still live here. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff of like, if you don't understand that, you can't say it's not normal. It's just because you don't experience it. But yes, do I suffer? No, I live with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
it's the same thing.
It's that thing where you're like, wait, you don't just have like when it's just quiet, you don't have like a weird feeling of like, what's the point of anything?
Yeah. What am I doing? What's happening? Yeah. Am I doing anything right? Like that kind of stuff is just like, what? Huh?
What's the meaning of any of this? You don't. Yeah, I'm like, fuck you.
So yeah, but you're right. That is the same idea of like, it's a thing where like those are probably the people that are like, wow, they got it all in one take. Amazing. That watch these specials. You know what I mean? They're happily like naive to reality of like, no, this is a constructed thing. And the fact that you were so easily fooled by it or you don't notice it as well is actually the credit to the editor. You know what I mean? Like that's really the thing is everybody else just kind of went up and did the same thing every night. The camera guys went up and set up the cameras, made sure the settings are right, and hit record.
Dude, I miss it. I remember the first time I saw a Doug Stanhope special. I was like, wow, he's just saying all that off the top of his head.
It's just perfect.
I was so naive. I miss being so naive to things.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. The last paragraph to the Kiss thing, and then I do want to break down the band itself because I have a lot of thoughts about that.
Rest in peace, Ace. You know,
R.I.P. Actually, his death too was heavily produced.
R.I.P. Freely.
R.I.P. Dead bitch. I'm just kidding. Kiss re-recorded part of the album at Electric Ladyland Studio in August. This is funny too. It's like we touched up what we had to do.
Right. See how everything is like like conveniently vague, where they're just like we redubbed and remixed, and there's some producing and some zhuzhing, and we went here to re-record the parts that needed to be. And you're like, what happened, guys?
That's the way they talk about it. But here's the reality: the live recording was so heavily altered, only Chris's drum tracks remained untouched. Even the audience was doctored as Kramer spliced together the best cheers and screams from various Kiss performances
and looped them.
The band wanted the listener to feel like they were in fact in the audience watching the show, and since directly recording an audience would not sound good, this was considered to be the next best solution. Speaking about the heavy studio redubs years later, Kramer said, "Who cares if it was overdubbed? The energy still comes. Who cares if it wasn't we said it was?"
Right. It's a thing where like the energy still came through. Yeah, that you produced the energy. So what I think is, because if there's another part of this story that I think is really fun, this is their albums and their tour, like them touring, them to record this live. They weren't a headlining band at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's another part. Well, that's another big.
Sorry.
God bless you.
That's another reaction to the medicine.
Well, no, that's another big thing I realized where, like, we were talking about it a lot with Avenged Sevenfold and how they sort of like wrote two good albums and then turned into the product. Kiss was like a product from day one. It was all about how they were like this album sort of represents Kiss perfectly, where it's all about how they represent themselves. It's not about the actual substance, because I'm like, dude, the thing that kept making me laugh was like, I was not super familiar with Kiss's stuff outside of the like big hits. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm like, and I will say a lot of their bigger hits are way better than their early shit.
Yeah.
But so I listened to all three of their first albums, and I go, it's so funny that they sound like a milquetoast version of CCR, but they look like they burned down churches in Norway. Yeah. And it's like, it's so funny to dress up like demons and then be like, me and my girl the other night we're doing a little smooching,
again, like what I say,
was right.
The cold gin cold gin fizz. Like it's one of those things where you're just like, are you? Because like that's the thing. Think about like GWAR. Yes, they do talk about like if they're talking about earthly things like war, it's like war, bombs, violence, maiming, killing. Do you know what I mean? Like they're talking about psychopathic, cocaine addicted space aliens.
Yeah.
And even still, their live album sounds more real than yours. So like it's a thing where it's cool that yes, you can produce it and everything, but this was, I think, exactly what you're talking about. This is just them marketing themselves. So what they're, because again, keep in mind at this point, they're not a headlining band. They're not headlining these shows that they're recording. This is them in support of other bands. So they just re-recorded all of their songs, pretended like they did what kids do in front of the mirror when they're like dreaming of being a rock star, going, thank you very much. We appreciate you. And they're doing that in a studio down the street from the venue that they just supported another bigger band. So, and then they go, and then they add in like an arena's filled with just insane fans. And they're like, we need you to know what it's like to be at a Kiss show. And they manufactured it. They 100% created a fan base. They said to all of you stupid assholes out there, we're the biggest band in the world. You don't know about us?
Yeah.
Well, listen to all these people. They can't be wrong. And you're like, well, it's 3 people and you just turn them into 10,000. You know what I mean? Like you can't do that. Your whole career is based on a lie. And not only that, but also people after those albums, and then this album comes out, I don't even know, did they write any hits after this?
Well, so that's a great question, because I will give Kiss credit. I was listening to them. I was listening to all their hits. They got some hits. Like I like Kiss, but they did not need to write all that music.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Is like that's the point. Is like people that are diehard Kiss fans are definitely they're idiots. They have bad taste, or there wasn't something else that they were. Do you know what I'm saying? Like how you can outgrow a band and everything like that. But it's like the same way of like if you told me, like seriously, if you told me Alice Cooper was my favorite artist, or like who's the other guy? Lenny Kravitz. You know what I'm saying? Like these people that are like, I don't hate them.
Well, you might just be a big fan of big Jewish
BBC?
Black Dong,
Old BBC, BBJC,
BJC, dude. You might just be, you know, I mean, you might just want to see them tight leather pants rip.
Give me those wristbands, BBJC.
Lenny Kravitz. Ooh, why don't you go fuck a white lady and make the cutest little baby ever?
but like that's the thing of like the whole idea of Kiss is like, I feel like it's a bunch of people at the right place, right time as kids discovered the lore of Kiss.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things of like, but like even still, when they're like, man, when I first listened to Kiss Alive, it's still lying to you. It's still one of those things. That's not what it's like to be at a Kiss show.
Your core memories are a lie.
So it's
but like, I will give them credit because like I Was Made for Loving You goes hard. It's kind of a beautiful song. Rock and Roll All Night. It's actually like a pretty fun song. And like Detroit Rock City, I was having a good time listening to Forever. Great ballad. But the problem is once you get to about like 10 songs, you're like, oh, you guys doing that same song? Like that's how I felt.
Are you ready to go? And you're like, they're playing Detroit Rock City again? You're like, oh, this is a different song? Oh, okay.
Dude, legitimately, like, and it's why I realized, like, that's why they were like, if there's surface area, we will put our logo on it and we will sell it. Because, dude, I'm not trying to be funny. Listening to these first 3 albums, there was so many fucking songs where like the guitars went out and just the way they do it, I involuntarily started thinking the chorus to Rock and Roll All Night was about to play, because it was just the way every song went. I go, oh, you guys are just a business, you're just a factory, you're just figuring out what's gonna. So it's not to say they didn't get lightning in a bottle a couple times, but there's a lot of other extra fucking broken bottles around there that, on the whole, like Kiss, that's what these bands do. They have their moments where they write, I was made for loving you. They have these moments where they write Detroit Rock City. And they go, remember that? Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah, but they also remember, lick it up.
Yeah.
Lick it up.
Yeah. And even all those ones are fun, but it's like once you get past that, you're like,
But I want to circle back real quick to a point you made that I think is a brilliant point in general. Like, the fact that like they're not even keeping up with their lore even this early. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're just so weird. It's because nobody gets it. Because you're saying you're from space. You're saying you're a demon. You're saying you're a star child, which is from fucking space, retard. You're already fucking
idiot.
And you're a cat? It's like one of those things where you're like, all right. So how'd you guys...
And there's a cat.
And you go, how'd you guys meet? And then and they're just like, oh, we were at a party in Detroit. And you're like, wait. I thought you were a demon. And where in space are you from? So like,
it's like they're like, I'm a demon, but also I write songs about being
Detroit
on a date.
Rock City, baby.
Yeah. Me and my best gal are gonna go to the boat shop. Wow, I'm a demon from space.
We're gonna get into a car and we're gonna drive. I thought you were a demon. Do you not have like a something like, can you fly? Can you? Are any of you can any of you fly? Well, I can get suspended from, and like the one that flies is Gene, not the spaceman, not the star child, the demon, the guy who should be coming down from there. So like, it's still one of those things where you're like, you're not even consistent in your own lore, but I cannot deny the fact of how many wonderful gimmick bands that they inspired. I can't, I'm sure I haven't done the research, but I'm absolutely sure that Elements of Gwar were inspired by Kiss. I'm absolutely sure of it. The Misfits, everything, like the Misfits, whether they want to admit it or not, I'm sure we're inspired by either Alice Cooper or Kiss or one of these people. But I'm so happy that they did it so much better. Like Gwar did it like that. If Kiss did it, where like Gene, the songs that Gene sings are all about fucking Satan and demons and souls, and I'm gonna rip the flesh from your bone. And then Star Child has all the ballads or something like that. And then fucking the I'm like brother, I am producing them way better than the guy that said, why don't you just fucking record an album and put a fucking crowd in? And like they're, and you know what I mean? Like I feel like even though that helped them so much so that they're like selling Kiss at this point, but I think the thing at some point should have been, well, like, let's build on if you're going to make comic books, let's build a lore. You have a fan base. Let's make storylines for all of your characters. Like, you could have done so much more work, but all they did was take the success that they had. And this is 76. I can't remember which.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 75, 76.
Okay, 75, 76. Like, you've had so many years to build on this. And if they can do it with like Pirates of the Caribbean or any of these other franchises, G.I. Joes were built to sell toys, and they still did more work for the fucking storylines than you did. So I think that that's why I say, I think their fans are fucking stupid, even though they're a good band.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Good bands I got to get deeper into their catalog, because right now they're a band with really good songs. I don't like, because it's like it goes back to the Weezer thing. When you write two amazing albums, when you write 2.5 amazing albums, and then the last 80% of your career's dog shit, you don't get to be a good band. You get to be a band that wrote some good albums. So I don't know if Kiss counts as a good band. They definitely wrote some tunes. They definitely wrote some fun tunes. But I think Kiss is the way they are because they don't care about any of the concerns you have. That's the thing, though. They're like, they're not looking. Gwar's looking for you, Pat, to be a fan. Kiss is like, nah, we just need whoever
we need fans.
We just need people who miss mom's keys.
Yeah.
We just miss people who miss mom's keys, and that's all. That's what, because that's who they're going for. Because it is like, it
he
is
spits
kind.
blood. Why does he spit blood? Does he drink blood, or does he? What did he kill somebody just now? Like, I don't know. Like, that sounds bad.
No, it does. It does. It goes back to like. It goes back to like. I don't hate the Foo Fighters, but when you talk to someone, and you're like, they're your favorite band.
And in this year,
you know, there's more music, right?
If you experienced it real time when you were a kid, like as Kiss, I will say you are not a dumb person. That's all you had. But like once other gimmick bands are invented, but Kiss is still your favorite band, that's when I'm gonna go, guys. You're as old as me. Fuck you. You have so much better choices. By the time you were listening to music, again, the Misfits existed, fucking Gwar, even like somebody like, I mean, Mudvayne's not like characters and stuff, but like Slipknot. Slipknot doesn't have like, they don't have lore necessarily. They're just 12 psychopaths.
Well, crazy guys.
Yeah, they're crazy guys. Like there's like, you have all aspects. There's a whole spectrum of nut
but even like music
that has better music and better
costumes. Yeah, Slipknot doesn't have lore, but their music's 1,000% better.
Right. So I go with like Gwar, or with Kiss in real time. If you're a kid in the 60s or 70s or 80s, let's say, even say, where it's like you don't have a ton of options and like these guys are the best, but like since then it has inspired so many more creative, better pursuits that are so much more fun to listen to and be a part of. Even when like again, the Gwar is they came from space, they came from their planet to come here.
Right.
They came here to enslave the human race, do all of our drugs, like kill all of our world leaders and religious leaders. Like they're invading aliens, and then they're like, and go Aquabats, we're a superhero crime fighting squad, here we go. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other options, like to go like Kiss. I mean, Kiss just does it the best. Like, no, they just have been able to merchandise and capitalize on like the fact that they tricked a bunch of you with their third album, also them needing it to work because they weren't successful at this point. So it's like, so you go like, there's motive for them to lie. They fucking lied. You all fell for it. And then you all said like, they are the best band in the world. It turns out they really are. And it's like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
They just aren't. You weren't exposed to them. You knew that they were out there. They're just one of those things where you're like, all right, you know.
Yeah. No, we don't get started.
It just bugs me. It's one of those things where I'm like, I obviously am associating the band with the car accident. And again, if you want to if each one of you send me like $10,000, you know, that'll help everything. I'm just going to start a GoFundMe. And honestly, I'll tell you what, you all donate $10,000 to me. I'll make as many fake live albums as you need. But I am definitely associating this band with that car accident. So there's part of that now where this album is forever tied to that stupid asshole that hit my car.
No, I feel you're coming from. I don't know how many. Well, no, I was trying to see where you're coming from. What's the vibe on Kiss now? Are they? Because I wonder. You always have to separate. You always have to separate the fans from the marketing department. Yeah. And I always wonder if people. Well, musicians too are bad at like being honest about things. You know, it's like, it's why everyone always loves to suck off Ringo. Because you're afraid that like some musical council is gonna come and fucking snatch you up and send you to the upside down if you don't say Ringo's a good drummer.
Yeah.
I am very curious what the broad, like, are the kids into Kiss, or are they just wearing it because that was the shirt at Kohl's?
I will say this. I think what it comes out to, and maybe just where generationally they didn't evolve, they didn't add to they had so many opportunities to take this thing and actually add depth to the world of Kiss, and they didn't. So you know what happens is yes. Now I would say Kiss is probably the greatest kids band I would ever like. That's a kids bop that I would play for I would play them Kiss and they would go like, yeah, Cold Jen, we, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's resorted to is yeah. It's because after this, that's what they did. They toured like what the basic feeling is now is they just technically fully retired, I think last year or the year before.
Yeah.
Their last show was at like MSG, and they had like they didn't do like a reunion even with all the original members, which is fucking crazy. They didn't have their like the guys come out and play. I mean, to for the last show, apparently, you can't even fucking get over the fact that somebody didn't make enough money here, somebody didn't do that. They don't even they don't care about their legacy. That's the thing I'm talking about. Is like that's why I hate with how cold Gene Simmons is, like, and how just like he just wants to make money. He's just like he literally, like, I think a couple years ago literally would go, if you paid enough money for the most recent best of Kiss anthology thing where they're like, oh, it turns out we found some recordings we didn't know about. Ooh. And they sold it for whatever. If you paid like, I think it's like $25,000 or some shit, he would come hand deliver it to you. And it's like, you are just taking advantage of a lie that you told in 75. It's crazy to me that it's still going on because, again, since then, it's not like they've added stuff that's amazing and they've shocked us or evolved or made us. They've been doing the same fucking bit. They're like the Harlem Globe. Somebody called them the ICP of rock. They're like the Harlem Globetrotters of rock.
Yeah,
you know exactly what you're gonna get.
Nah, but the Harlem Globetrotters aren't lying to you the same way. That's the thing I like. The more you're talking about this, I'm like, we shit on the artist too much and don't hold the fans accountable enough.
Right.
Because that's really, because it's like the Kiss is gonna, like, they're responding, they responded their whole career to financial incentives. But it's like people have to leave the house and pay money for that. That's the thing I'm always more fascinated.
Talking about the $60 shirts earlier. It's the fans' fault. You're absolutely right.
I wouldn't say it's the fans' fault, but they're definitely part of it. It's like it's a symbiotic relationship because it is, it is like when you have $500 Blink-182 tickets. It's like, they are preying on people's emotions, and you can sort of take advantage of that and shit like that. But at the same time, like, the fans are a part of it when they physically purchase the $500 ticket. Right. But it's just so, I get way more intrigued on the conversation of like, what are you getting out of this band? Yeah. They put out, because I mean, the best I can get on board with is like you said, if you were fucking 8 and Kiss Alive came out, I'm not going to judge. That probably feels real good. But I'm just like I'm looking. This is why I was like looking off screen the whole time you were going. Is I'm like on their Wikipedia, and I just see like 20 studio albums, and I just go like, no band who's ever taken their career seriously, or their music, I should say their music seriously, because they took their career seriously because they all probably died, like they're all millionaires. So they took their career seriously, but there's no band who takes their music seriously who's written 20 albums.
Right. And 20 albums where they have like, you have the rock and roll songs in the 70s, you got the disco song in the 80s, right? I Was Made for Loving You, and then you have Lick It Up in the 90s. Like, but you've written 20 albums in that time, and it's like, what?
Brother, look at this. 14 compilations. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like shit like that, where you're like, how
can your compilations be 70% of your studio albums?
They're like a podcast. They're like the world's first podcast. They found their audience and they just have been milking them for fucking money over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And it's just like, but the thing is, they're not offering any new content, really.
Bro,
they're just recording this shit, and it's like
people just want to. They just want to be a fucking battery. That's what I've noticed about human beings. Human beings, they just want to be a fucking battery. Like they just want to be the fat guy in WALL-E and sit in the chair, and they just go like, I'm just gonna fucking sit here and whatever slop you throw at me, give me the slop, and it's like I'm not trying to.
This is my favorite one, and you're like, you can't pick up. You're not. That's all bad, guys. Like, not everything can be relative. At some point, you do have to like answer back and be like, hey, like, I don't know, man. Like, it seems like you're just kind of you're just taking advantage of a bunch of dummies. You're taking advantage of a bunch of dummies that then take their kids to a Kiss show when they're young. Yeah. And they go, and then their kid goes, Kiss is awesome. And they're like, yeah, I know. And you don't realize they think I'm bonding over a thing I love. And you're like, you love a thing a fucking 4-year-old loves, stupid. Think about that. Think if you went to a Wiggle show and you're like, this is pretty good, isn't it?
Dude.
I didn't know these guys fucking ripped live.
It's a Wiggle shit, dude. The Kiss of the Wiggles. The Kiss are Baby Shark, dude.
That's what they are. And it's like one of those things of like, you're not looking at this correctly. You went and you took a fucking 4-year-old to a Kiss show, and the 4-year-old went, yay, and wasn't scared. And you're saying later on, like, I don't know, Gene's pretty cool. He comes out as a demon. Pretty cool looking. And you're like, that's what a 4-year-old says.
I never considered the concept of like a band taking advantage of, like, obviously taking advantage of, but like in this sort of context of, it's like by not even just like, it's one thing to go like, we put out a special edition and we have all these demos and alternate takes. Like, it's one thing to do that. It's another thing to be like, the way you exist is taking advantage of people's emotions. Yeah. It's like Kiss is the Nigerian Prince of music.
Yeah, this is a fucking scam. They are scamming us. Where they're just like one of those things where like Kiss is calling your grandmother right now, going like, your grandson's in grave danger. He needs help. He's at the hospital. If you send $10,000 right now, I promise I wasn't scanning you earlier. I actually did get in a car accident. I do actually need $10,000.
Oh yeah, Pat does need $10,000. Dude, for real, because like if you look at like the Nigerian scammers, people always go like, oh, if you're that stupid, you deserve. And it's like, no, it's like the people who take it, they're like old ladies who are.
We gotta look out for the idiots. Yeah,
we gotta look out for them. They need someone to protect them.
There's
and it's
old, young, and middle-aged idiots out there that we need to. It takes a village. They're like not everybody. Because think about it. If they're idiots, they probably don't have great parents. I mean, guys, I'm pretty dumb.
Guys, it takes a village. Call your parents and make sure they're not still listening to Kiss.
I don't know. It just fucking speaks to Detroit. Rocksteady. Would you ever go to Detroit? No.
You just move the phone. You're like, he's still listening to Kiss.
He's listening right now.
You're like, I want him to stop listening to Kiss, but my health insurance, I can't qualify for CCR. It won't.
And the fact that Kiss's songs weren't used in like cholesterol medication commercials or something like that, or like, Chantix, blah blah blah. like I just don't understand like how a band with essentially very little to no morals, but puts none of that into their art. Like the fact that like, if you like, why don't you say something about all the people that say how greedy and shitty you are, Gene? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you could play into the heel. You could be the heel demon later on. Like but they don't care about their fans because they don't have to do anything else. They can just repackage the same songs over and over and over again and just go like,
I'm telling you, unironically, those first 3 albums, dude, also up until Rock and Roll All Night, every song was like trying to get a little bit of pussy. And it was like musically the same song, and every single song was about getting pussy, which I like to get a little bit of pussy.
Yeah.
But when I'm done getting pussy, I do some other things. Sometimes I rock all night.
Right. Dude,
it was like, dude, you could like, it was the same song over and over again. This is why you do not wait till the art's done before you get the capitalism in there. You do not get the capitalism in the process.
Yeah,
after.
They capitalize off literally, they were like, this is successful right now, and we need to capitalize as best as we can. And they just never turned it down. you know what I'm saying? Like they were trying to make hay while the sun was shining, and they're like, these fucking idiots are still shining all over this fucking hay. What about a squirt gun? That's a Kiss theme. What about a hat? They were probably the first motherfuckers to charge $60 for a shirt. And these dickheads are like, well, it's special edition. This is their retirement tour. So like and then when they came back, right? When they come back from retirement a couple years later, then you go to that tour and you go like, well, I gotta buy this t-shirt because like they were in retirement. I don't know how much longer this is gonna last. And each time you're conditioned, and they're never gonna drop the price. They're never gonna make it less money for you. So it's only gone up, and the fact of how little work they've done with their characters, with their lore, with the songs in general that aren't the hits. Also, if it's speaking to our the fact that they are truly a kids band, I feel like if this is a good scale too, and maybe I'm wrong, but like think about like the song "I Want to Rock and Roll All Day and Party All Night." What is it? Rock and roll all night and party every day. Think about it. You don't have to change the lyrics to put that on a Kids Bop album.
Yeah.
So essentially, that could be a kid. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that you're gonna have to like. If the kids go, what do they mean by partying? You can go party. You know what party? You went to a birthday party, right? They love going to birthday parties, and like you don't have to explain this to your kid. You don't have to explain this away to your kids. Like it's just the lyrics are what they could be on the Kids Bop album.
Yeah, Kiss is a fucking corporate slop, and it's fucking gay idiots. No, I get it's so funny. You could Kids Bopify it and not have to change one thing.
Yeah,
not one thing. Yeah, man, Kiss. This is funny. I was like, yeah, Kiss is pretty good, and but they, I was like, I'm gonna give it to them a little bit, and then by the end of this, I was like, oh, yeah, Kiss is what's wrong with the world, dude.
That's what I kept thinking about, and I was definitely in a dark place that my doctor wouldn't understand. But
that my doctor wouldn't give me a prescription to get out of.
Just give me some pills that make me smile, stupid. But there's a thing where I'm like, I just got so like pissed off because like I've heard Kiss before. I know the hits, and then once you get into a couple of the deep tracks, just like you're talking about, like because it starts with not like the most popular songs. So I'm like listening to them, and I'm like. And I'm a huge fan of like Jim Norton, who's like a huge Kiss fan and talks about how many of their songs, but he was somebody who was 8 years old when they came out. You know what I'm saying? Like he's somebody who literally experienced Kiss live. And I'm like, I'm not like real time, not live because we don't know what that is. But there's a thing where you go. Like,
some say they've never actually played live.
Never played a live a show, but they have this whole thing where I go like, okay, I'm fine with that. And it's cool to like things like obviously this whole show is basically about bands that we loved when we were in our teens. You know what I mean? Like, so it's close to the same thing
when we were young,
but I don't think that, but every time like these bands continued to do different things or try something else or retired, like actually stopped doing it and then came back and did something else. Like there's something else to it. And when you have when you're coming out like a demon, like a Star Child, like a fucking spaceman, and like a kitty cat, I want all Peter's every song. Actually, he's the one that sings Grace, or no, what is it?
Beth.
I said Grace. Beth, I hear you calling. Like he's the one that, but Beth better be the cat that you're in love with, because you're a cat. So what is a cat doing calling? Is he going meow? Like that's what I want to hear. You're a cat. You picked the character of cat. Now sing cat themes, stupid, because that's the whole point of the character. Otherwise, you're just a cat, a couple of space dudes, and a demon that got their band together.
Okay. This is
with no explanation. I get so bitter when I go into Gwar did whole videos about like they did skits, they did fucking storylines, they made whole shows about
yeah.
I'm so frustrated.
You're the first guy who goes like, I don't know nothing about this cat.
I want to know about the cat.
What's the backstory of the cat?
And they're just like, I'm from space, but I drink my gin in Detroit City. Did you probe anybody? What's existence
such a
like?
funny complaint?
Have you met God yet? What are you?
What's the lore of the cat?
Teach us about time travel. Do you know anything about Roswell? What's going on here?
Okay. Well, I think we need to switch to a thing you like. You've now gotten way too deep on the Kiss analyzation.
I did the research, and I get frustrated.
And you're just pissed about it.
But you're literally, like you said.
No,
like
I get it. You did all the work, and you're getting your fucking points out. I've been there, brother. I get it.
And I'm just researching where it's just like they're just buying lunch boxes of pictures of them from the fucking 70s, and you're like, well, when you taking a picture in the 90s? It's just repackaging the same shit, and it's over and over again. You're like, well, is this okay? Yeah, it was a lunchbox now. Cool, I'll buy the lunchbox. Oh, cool, it's a coffin now. I'll buy the coffin. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's just jerking off, dude.
It just sucks. It sucks that like so many people fucking like glaze these dudes, and it's like
no,
they're opportunistic dick. It's not just Gene, it's all of them. They were all. It takes fucking 4 to tango.
Yeah.
You know what they say? It takes 4 to tango.
That's what they say, Pat. So what album would put you in a better mood?
Kiss Alive 2. Now, Kiss Alive 2, I feel like, is when they actually.
No.
I just want to give it a shot. I just like.
Actually, I had one last complaint. I just wanted to point out drum solos before rock and roll solos before the 2000s fucking sucked ass.
Dude.
They're
aimless. They're just whacking on fucking skin, bro. They're just like boom, 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 boom.
No, dude, like on this one, he was just hitting like rudiments. He's just like going and you're like, you got like, because like you can go back and watch like what's his name, Mitch Mitchell, I think, or whatever, the dude for Jimi Hendrix. You can watch John Bonham, and they're doing like insane shit. And then you pull up Kiss Alive, and he's just going. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like that's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me worked up. Where it's just like, it's this, and it correlates to your thing. Where it's like, is this whole thing just a product of you guys just not like? I'm with you on the fucking anger, dude. Because it is like, it is a thing of just like, there's, you know what it is for me. It's actually not that hard to make money. Like if you just want to like sell out and like get a corporate job or do some bullshit like that. And I'm like, no, like do your damn thing. It's not that hard to like make money if you just want to play the game.
Yeah.
It's when people go, I'm going to play the game and I'm going to muddy up art. That's when I'm just like, please stop. You don't need to be here. It's hard enough for bands to make fucking money. Now you just have all these people like getting in the fucking way because they know how to manipulate people's brains.
Yeah. I feel like, it's a manipulation. That's the best way. I think that's the word I've been trying to find the whole, you're manipulating your fan base and you're taking advantage of them. And it just sucks because there are so many cool versions of this that are out there that I feel like, check them out, you know? Like,
well, it's very similar too, because like there's like you know, I try not to lean into, they call it like the fixed pie fallacy or something like that, where there's only like so much room for people in certain groups, where it's like I more get on board with the like rising tide lift all ships. But there is a thing like in stand-up, when you see a bunch of people like actors who got canceled and they have no other choice, and so they do comedy just because they know people will show up. And it's like, don't get me wrong, eventually people watch dudes like that and go like, oh, you suck ass, and they stop going. But that year you decided to do comedy, like you took up a bunch of nights. You took up a bunch of weekends during the year that actual real comedians could be doing the show.
Exactly.
And I feel the same way about bands like this. It's like, hey man, there's an actual real band trying that could have fucking filled up that venue that you wasted everyone's time with. So that's another layer to it where I get really fucking irritated.
I'm listening. I promise you, I'm listening to everything you're saying, and I'm paying attention. But it's so hard for me to try to figure this out. But I feel like okay. So I would like to suggest a band that deserved the shine that I think Kiss got, and I think you know what I'm going to say.
I do not.
Gwar.
Hell yeah!
But I was trying to pick the perfect album, and I'm going to pick one of my favorite albums of theirs personally. This is not. It's not. I'm not saying it's the best. It's one of my favorites.
Cool.
But it is from 2004. It's called War Party.
Okay.
And there is it has. I feel like. I mean, it. I don't think it has as much of the jokiness. This is kind of Gwar. Like, not that they got like serious, I guess, but they didn't do as many of the like. There's something on We Kill Everything. Was actually the first full Gwar album that I ever bought, and it has a whole range. I mean, it's got a song with a horn in it, like that's almost not ska necessarily, but pretty similar. It's got a song. The song "Fish Fuck" is on there. The song, a couple other different like heaters for sure. But this one I think is like, as far as like a metal band.
Sorry, I like their album titles. This Toilet is Earth.
Yeah.
America Must Be Destroyed.
Yeah, brother, they are legitimately everything that I feel like Gwar or that Kiss gets credit for. Obviously, because they're mainstream, and that's the thing. Is the reason I think Gwar didn't get famous is obviously exactly that. They were the anti-Kiss in the sense of like, they don't give a shit about trying to take advantage of you guys. They are just here to fucking do their shit. So I just want to talk about something, like you said, something I love for a week.
Well, you're like me, dude. When you get invested in something, you feel it.
I do the work. Yeah, I'll do the work, and like the more work I have to do for Kiss, I'm just like, I hate these guys. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I have similar. I get where you're coming from. I have similar things because when you do the work like that, you get very invested, and then you're like, I fucking hate this.
You're like, I'm more invested than they are. I think that's what it is. I invested more in Kiss in this week, even listening to their album, it leading me to get into a car accident for sure. They're going to be hearing from my lawyers.
I'm 100% certain they did that.
But because think about it, Andy, I never listened to Kiss Alive in my car before. The one time I do, what happens?
Checks out.
Boom. So I'm just saying, you guys may be litigious, but so am I. So
Pat, can I put it this way? You're 100% right.
There's not a doubt in my mind that what I'm saying is truth, not even close to opinion. Okay.
You're literally the most accurate you've ever been. Oh yeah. All right. Next week, Gwar, 2004. What was the album title again? War Party.
Yeah. It has most of the bangers that I love, but of their later years.
Fuck yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good one. Be about it. Peace.